Hello there, biology boys and girls, and welcome to our fourth lesson here in Unit 2. 4 of 6. Lots of material we're covering, but you guys are doing a good job, and let's get right into the video topics for today. We're talking biotic interactions, so how living organisms interact with each other inside of their environments. Okay? I'm breaking this video into 2 major topics. All right, we're going to talk about kind of the interdependence or the interconnectedness between all of these organisms and coevolution, kind of at the same time. All righty? And then we're going to look at the major community interactions, so the major biotic actions of predation, competition, and symbiosis. And there's 3 types of symbiotic relationships that we're going to examine. Okay? First up, though, we knew that ecology, one of the themes that we were going to see throughout, was how everything is either directly or indirectly related to each other. Okay? We see that a lot here with the material that we're going to cover in this video. A lot of interconnectedness. All right? There's a lot of interdependence that is present inside of ecology, and studying the community interactions is going to put that on display. All right? It's also going to put on display how over time organisms have changed in this back and forth manner in response to one another. Okay? So if a food source or a certain resource that an animal needs was to lessen or increase, that animal may adapt over long periods of time to better combat the lessening, survive a harder time, or it may actually change and develop and alter some characteristics in order to make the most of a better situation. Your book on page 362 talks about interdependence and coevolution a little bit more, but I just wanted to touch on this video a little bit, put that in your heads, and hopefully as you pay attention to the major community interactions that we're going to talk about, those major biotic interactions, you keep thinking of how things are interconnected with one another, you keep thinking about that theme interdependence, and how maybe over time these organisms, not maybe, but how over time these organisms have changed, either directly because of other organisms or indirectly because of other organisms. Okay, on to the biotic interactions. Our very first one is predation. And to simply put, it's one organism killing another organism so it can gain or consume energy from that organism. Predation would be like a wolf killing off bison 200 years ago on the tall grass prairie. Predation could also be seen as you guys killing off a cow and eating a cow. Okay? That's not one of the ecological, natural ones that we're talking about now. Okay? But predation. One organism killing another one for food. A barn owl sweeping down onto a driveway and grabbing a little kitty. Or a hawk grabbing a mouse outside of the field. Okay, outside in the field. All right, so predation. One major biotic interaction, organism to organism interaction that we'll study and that helps to define different ecological situations. Competition is an ecological biotic interaction where two or more organisms are going for and or need the same resource. Okay? So we're not just looking at food here and energy, but we're talking about resources in general. Okay? So if there's 2 or more organisms that are going for the same one, they're going to do what we call compete. Okay? They're going to both vie and or battle for it. All right? Reason they're competing? Because they all fill the same job or purpose. And we know that that job or purpose from a couple videos ago is known as a niche. All right? So competition is an interaction that's a result of similar organisms filling similar niches. There's 2 different types of niches that we study when we talk about competition. A fundamental niche and a realized niche. A fundamental niche is the entire range that you could fall into. Okay? The example I like to use for this is, let's say that you only want to eat produce from the grocery store, so vegetables or fruit. So you could survive on any of those vegetables or fruit. That would be your fundamental niche. Whereas a realized niche would be the actual vegetable and or fruit that you are consuming all the time to survive on. Okay, so maybe the apple and the orange, okay, or celery and broccoli. All right, you're not eating all of it, you're just going after that little area. So, inside of that grocery store example, all right, one of your peers could be surviving on oranges. One of your peers surviving on apples. You surviving on celery. Somebody else surviving on potatoes. Another person surviving on tomatoes. Okay? So everybody falls inside of the same fundamental niche, but everybody has a different realized niche. So there's some competition going on, but everybody is still kind of surviving and maintaining a healthy population status. Competitive exclusion occurs when we've got two organisms that are going after the same realized niche. All right? So for instance, if me and Curtis were to be filling the same realized niche, so let's say Curtis and I both each really love kiwi, okay? There's not enough kiwi to support both Curtis and I, okay? So one of us is going to lose this battle. I'm not going to say who's going to lose the battle. We'll leave that up to your imaginations. I all think we know who would lose the battle. All right? But competitive exclusion would occur because one organism may be better suited to work more effectively and more efficiently to gather those resources. Not just food, but all those resources. So if two organisms both possess the same realized niche, one of them is going to win out. The other is going to be kicked out, okay? Perish, put away, finito, gone, done, all right? And we call that competitive exclusion, all righty? So competition, in short, going after the same resources. A little bit more information though there when you start thinking of fundamental niches, realized niches, and competitive exclusion. The last biotic interaction we're going to look at is symbiosis or symbiotic relationships, where we have two or more organisms that are engaged in a very long, all right, very long and close relationship. Okay, so a very close relationship, and it's over a long period of time. Three types of symbiotic relationships: parasitism, commensalism, and mutualism. Parasitism is when one of the organisms benefits and the other one is harmed. Classic examples being a mosquito that you want to swat on your arm, or ticks, or it could be inside of your body like tapeworm or roundworm. Okay? Those organisms are using you as a host, and they can potentially harm you in the long run. They don't want to kill you off, but they're going to harm you. Okay? Somebody taking your blood, that's not good. You need blood. All right? Tapeworm or roundworm inside of your intestines, taking the energy that your stomach is breaking down and making available for the rest of your body, that's not good. You need that energy. Okay? So parasitism. One is benefiting, one is being harmed. Commensalism is when one is benefiting and the other organism is not being affected at all. A little sense of neutrality. Okay? A classic example of this is the clownfish and the sea anemone, where the clownfish is getting refuge in that sea anemone. It has a safe place to live. The sea anemone is protecting it, but the clownfish doesn't do anything for the sea anemone. Doesn't hurt or help it. It's just neutral. You also see this with some birds that like to land on the backside of different types of cattle or other large animals that might attract certain insect life. So those birds are basically having kind of a buffet, all right, on the insects and other bugs that may be in the vicinity of that herd or that individual organism. But the cow itself is not benefiting at all. Not being harmed, but not benefiting either. That's commensalism. The last of the symbiotic relationships is mutualism, where both are benefiting. Okay? A great mutualistic relationship is that occurs on the common milkweed plant that we located out to Spring Creek Golf Course. Check out this little video to further describe a mutualistic relationship.
Hello, I'm Mark Frazier. As we explore the amazing wildlife right in our own backyards, we learn to appreciate them and therefore protect them. Join me on Discovery Channel's Born Animal. Hidden atop the seed pod of a milkweed plant lives the world's smallest cow, complete with farmers. The tiny orange spots you see are actually the stunning milkweed aphid. You see, in this relationship, the ants are the farmers that are tending to them, and the aphids are the cows. They even milk them. If you look carefully at the ant at the lowest part of the screen, he's about to take a drink. See that? He actually is drinking from the cow right now. You know, it doesn't take long to find out why they do this. You see, the ants will protect their cows. This ladybug will actually eat aphids if you can get to them. So the farmers work diligently to try and protect their little cows. They've done it. So you see, that's how it works. The milkweed aphids reward the ants by allowing the ants to milk them. And in return, the ants protect them. Left in peace, the aphids continue to graze on the green of the milkweed seed pod. The fascinating thing about nature is the closer you look, the more you see. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Frazier, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, that does it for this video. Hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable about the major biotic interactions that take place in any type of ecological situation. Hopefully you also have a little bit of an idea too about how everything is just interconnected. Alright? Everything's interconnected. Predation and competition assist each other, because if we don't have some predators, then all of a sudden the two organisms that are being kept in check by those predators are going to increase in population. They're going to have an increased level of competition, and eventually one is going to be excluded. That's not good. We want biodiversity, and predation and competition assist each other in increasing biodiversity, because more biodiversity also means more productivity for that ecological situation and system. Check out pages 369 and 370 in your textbook to explain that for you a little further. That does it for this video. Shoot me any questions you may have. Talk to you guys later.